Hi, I'm Brad DeRoche. Welcome to my course on sight reading. This is lesson 17. And in today's lesson, we are going to finally start moving our melodies up the fingerboard. So we're going to play in middle register today. And that'll be a little bit of a challenge for some of you. If you're like most people, when you learn to read on the guitar, you might have gone through a traditional method book. And most of those method books, which they do a fabulous job of this, many of them, they teach us to read in this low register here. And then they might add maybe a single high A here or something like that, or even a couple of notes on the first string, like the Segreras method. But what none of them seem to be able to do is to give us a really thorough investigation of each register. And so that's what I'm trying to fill in with this program. All right, so once again, we're going to use in today's lesson this series of pieces from this collection called Classical Guitar 1. Okay, by Peter Edvinson. This is a free resource online. That's the reason I'm using it. There's some other ones. I sent you an email that has an online collection of several thousand free melodies, and you can print them or download them, and so you can look for that too. Anyway, so we'll just use this collection of pieces today because it's very handy and you already have it. All right, so today I am going to be working with page 4. All right, so page 4 in the collection's got Clair de Lune, Lightly Row, Playing with Life, and Blue Sky. Those are the tunes on page 4. So in today's lesson, what we want to focus on is playing in middle register. Now, we've been through this in the last for the last couple of weeks, and so you should be pretty comfortable with the note names and knowing where the written notes are in this register. In this register, on the 6th string, we start with the note A, so we have A, B, C. 5th string is D, E, F. 4th string is G, A. 3rd string, B, C, D. And remember, with this one, the B is on the 4th fret. We had to move up for that. And then fifth position, once again, on the 2nd string, E, F, G. And on the 1st string, A, B, C. All right, so those are the notes we're dealing with. So what we will do is we'll start our melodies today in middle position, middle register here, and then we will move down to low register the second time around, all right? But what I don't want you to do is to play the piece twice in a row, once in first register, once in second register. I want you to go through all 4 pieces in one register, then go down to the low register and play all 4 pieces there again. So we're trying to make it a little tougher so you don't play it twice in a row and already have the tune in your head, okay? All right, so we're going to start with Clair de Lune, the top piece. And this one, I'm going to do my typical protocol. I'm going to scan through the piece first. So do that with me. Just look through. Notice the meter signature. It's in 4/4 time, right? Look for repeats. Oh, wow. There's one after the 4th measure. Do you see that one? So we're going to play the first 4 bars and then repeat those. And then we'll move on. There's no repeat at the end. Then I'm going to look at rhythms, mostly quarter notes, some half notes in there, even a few whole notes, but no tricky rhythms, dotted notes and ties and things like that yet. This is all pretty simple. Okay, so I've kind of scanned through the piece and have a pretty good sense of where it is. My lowest note looks like a G on the 2nd line of the staff, and my highest note is, well, let's see, E is our highest pitch in this one. So that's our register, all right? So we kind of have a sense of where we're playing. In the middle register, we're going to be playing on these couple of strings here, 2nd, 3rd, even down to the 4th string, but we're not going to be playing all the way down on the 6th string today, not in this piece. All right, so then we're going to set our metronome, and I just picked a little faster tempo for today. Again, you have to decide what tempo works best for you, and I just chose 92 today. We're just kind of speeding it up a little just to add to the challenge, but again, if this doesn't work for you, you can either slow it down some or speed it up, whatever is best for you. And you'll know when you're at the sweet spot when you get about 90% of the notes and rhythms right. That's challenging you. If you drop below that, it's a little too tough. If you're getting 100%, it's too easy. All right, you need to up the ante a little. Okay, so remember your protocol. Once you start playing, you set your metronome. You start playing, you do not stop. All right, so no matter what, you play through to the end, all the way to the end, and you only play it once. We're not going to do these multiple times, all right, just once. All right, so here we go. 92 on the metronome. That's the pulse I chose. That's for the quarter note. Remember your repeat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. Now moving on. Okay, how'd you do? Did you get a 90% or higher? Yeah, good. If you didn't, slow it down. All right, for the next time you come back to it, maybe in a day or two. That's all you got to do. You just keep trying new stuff. With sight reading, it's really important that you're always looking at new material. We stop sight reading once we start learning a piece and memorizing it. And the memory doesn't mean it has to be complete where you can take the sheet away. But if you've played something a handful of times, you already know what the next notes are probably going to be and so on. So that's no longer sight reading. Sight reading really needs to be something that's very new, something you haven't played in a very long time, something you've forgotten, for instance, etc. Usually material that you don't recognize is better too. We're playing pretty common standard tunes today. That's all right for starters. But at some point, when you want to up the ante, start picking material that you're not familiar with. And I've got a bunch of resources for that. One thing that I used to use, I was going to show you this book. It's just one example out of countless examples, but this was a book I used to use when I was teaching the oral skills, music theory and oral skills here at the school. And this book, which is by Liz Marvin and some other authors, is a collection of melodies, and they're in all different clefs. So if you really want to have some tricky stuff, do some of these melodies here, just pull those out and try to read through those. This is much more advanced material, but it'll give you just food for thought. So you can pick up a sight singing book and use that as your material to practice. All right. So in today's lesson, what we are trying to do is to learn to play the notes in middle register. Once you've gone through all 4 pieces in middle register, which would include Clair de Lune, Lightly Row, Playing with Life, and Blue Sky today, then you would play them down in first or low register. So middle register, then low register. So after I've played Clair de Lune here in middle register and Lightly Row, and so on, Playing with Life, etc. Then the next time around, I'm going to play them down here in low register. So here would be Clair de Lune with the metronome on again. Okay, you get the idea. I don't need to play all the way through for you. So play once in middle register, play all 4 tunes, then play them again in low register. The whole process will take you only maybe 2 or 3 minutes at most. So the goal today is to really start thinking about notes in the middle register and also trying to reinforce this sight reading protocol of playing through without stopping. All right, that's really important. Also, scanning the piece before you play is crucial. So you get the metronome going, and you play through all the way to the end without stopping. And the metronome will help push you forward, so I do recommend using that. All right, that's it for today. So I hope you'll join me in the next lesson. We're going to move up the fingerboard again. We're going to move to the high register in the next lesson. All right, hope you have a great day. We'll see you soon. Cheers.